My gift from CarDekho, they called me and told me that from tomorrow you will manage insurance business. There were 8 people in the team, of which 2 were on resignation, and of the remaining 6 people, 2 people have opened Naukri.com and they were looking for a job. This is how the handover of InsuranceDekho happened to me.
You were working at UBS as a banker. You could have earned millions. Then why India?
So I came back to India because I wanted to be with my family. What are the 2 biggest problems that people suffer in India? One is unemployment. Second, healthcare infrastructure. बीमारी और बेरोजगारी दो बहुत बड़ी तकलीफें हैं भारत देश की, जिसको इंश्योरेंस देखो लास्ट मेल पे सॉल्व करता है. By teaching people why is insurance important, how can they take insurance distribution coverage to everybody in their neighborhood, thus making a living. Today we work with over 300,000 partners spread across 1500 plus cities in the country, and we serve 98% of India's pin codes.
What percentage of women you think you have among those 300,000?
So about 24% of our agent partners are women, and it gives us a lot of pride when we say 1/4 of our agent workforce are women. Am I happy with it? No, because the push which I give to our CHRO is at least 50% from our agent mobilization perspective. So there's an agent partner. She was from a remote location. She had lost her husband. And during COVID, when she was looking for employment opportunities, she came across InsuranceDekho, got trained on our platform. Because of those trainings, she was able to start selling more and more products. Today, she has her own office, bought a house in Greater Noida. She sends her children to an English medium school. When we heard it, we all just had tears in our eyes.
From 8 employees to on resignation to 300,000 agents, from a painful hospital discharge to India's largest insurance platform covering 98% of the country's pin codes, Ankit Agrawal's journey with InsuranceDekho is a story of solving two of India's biggest problems simultaneously: unemployment and healthcare access. Today we talk about childhood lessons that shaped a founder, the power of giving and forgiving, why health became non-negotiable while scaling a unicorn, and what it really takes to build something enduring in India's golden era. Now I bring you Ankit Agrawal.
Ankit bhai, finally.
हो
गया होगा कितना? About
1.5 साल से हम बात कर रहे हैं. 2 साल से.
Excited to have you. Shining. Looking good.
I'm actually shining. This is the first podcast I'm doing with a clean shave. Otherwise, I don't.
I've not seen you clean shave.
Yeah.
Look, you built India's largest agent-driven insurance platform called InsuranceDekho. But before we get into that, Ankit, we are really a byproduct of environment. What really shaped you the most while growing up?
I think this is a very interesting question. मैं हमेशा ये कई लोगों ने वैसे पूछा, मैं हमेशा सबको यही कहता हूँ कि आई एम अ सम टोटल ऑफ माई फैमिली. तो मैं जो कुछ भी हूँ आज, इट इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ वॉट आई सॉ इन द अर्ली ईयर्स व्हेन आई ग्रू अप. माई फादर हु इज़ नॉट देयर एनी मोर हैज़ प्लेड the most influencing role in my life. I always tell people, even if I'm 1% of what my father was, I would have achieved something very big in life. तो मेरे पिताजी का सबसे बड़ा इन्फ्लुएंस था. मेरी माताजी का बहुत इन्फ्लुएंस है. मेरी सिस्टर का बहुत इन्फ्लुएंस है. मेरी वाइफ का मेरे ऊपर बहुत इन्फ्लुएंस है. राइट. सो I think I am blessed to be surrounded by strong women in my life. Even my team has very strong women. So my childhood, so I was born in Assam, right? And Assam में when I used to see my father working 16-17 hours a day. जब मैं 3.5-4 साल का था, तब से मैंने पिताजी को बहुत मेहनत करते हुए देखा. फिर हम कलकत्ता आ गए और वहाँ से हम कलकत्ता से बिहार जाना बहुत आसान था, तो हम गांव बहुत जाते थे. तो वहाँ पे मैंने अपने दादा को, ताऊ जी को बहुत मेहनत करते हुए देखा, अपने भाइयों को बहुत मेहनत करते हुए देखा. तो आई थिंक वेरी अर्ली इन माई लाइफ आई लर्नड द वैल्यू ऑफ हार्ड वर्क. आई लर्नड द वैल्यू ऑफ अ स्ट्रॉन्ग फैमिली इकोसिस्टम. आई लर्नड द वैल्यू ऑफ वॉट privileges you get from money, right? सभी कहते हैं कि कई लोग कहते हैं कि money is not important, and I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I think money is important because money gives you the resources to do things. Money gives you the resources to take care of people who care for you. Money gives you the resources to give back to the society, right? And money also gives you the freedom to do what you want, when you want, and how you want.
Mhm. And Ankit, do you remember one or two instances of values that just stayed with you and it transformed you?
So one instance was हम एक बार ट्रेन से हम सो बेसिकली हमारा गांव छोटी बलिया है. तो छोटी बलिया अगर आप गूगल सर्च करोगे तो आपको छोटी बलिया मिलेगा भी नहीं. लखमीनिया इज़ द नेम ऑफ द डिस्ट्रिक्ट. ठीक है. तो हम अपने गांव से मोकामा जाते थे और फिर मोकामा से हम ट्रेन पकड़ के असम आते थे. तो एक बार हम ठंड में असम आ रहे थे और ट्रेन में स्लीपर क्लास में हम ट्रेन में थे एंड बहुत ठंड पड़ रही थी. राइट, ऑल ऑफ अस वेर शिवरिंग. हम चादर ओढ़ के थे. तभी एक आदमी मांगते हुए आया कुछ एंड ही वॉज शिवरिंग इन कोल्ड. पापा ने एक स्वेटर पहना हुआ था. पापा ने अपना स्वेटर खोल के उसको दे दिया एंड मम्मी पापा गुस्सा करिए, आप ऐसे कैसे कर सकते हैं, आपको ठंड लग जाएगी, ये एक स्वेटर है. तो पापा ने, मेरे से ज़्यादा ज़रूरत स्वेटर की इसको है. इट स्टेड विथ मी एंड कई सालों बाद पापा जब अस्पताल में थे, मैंने पापा से एक बार पूछा कि आपने उस समय ऐसा क्यों किया था. पापा ने बस ये बोला कि उस आदमी को मेरे से ज़्यादा ज़रूरत उस स्वेटर की थी. एंड इन लाइफ यू शुड नेवर think twice before giving. The value of giving, I think one of the most powerful values which I learnt in my life was the power of giving, and I learnt it from my father. It stayed with me. Second, एक बार मैं क्लास 3 में था. बहुत बदमाश था मैं. क्लास 3 नहीं एक्चुअली में, हाँ क्लास 6 में था. बहुत बदमाश था मैं. मतलब मेरे पापा मम्मी स्कूल जाते थे पेरेंट टीचर मीटिंग में. तो टीचर यही बोलते थे कि बाकी सब तो बढ़िया हैं पर बदमाशी बहुत करता है ना. तो उस समय फॉर सम रीज़न आई डिड नॉट स्टडी वेरी हार्ड इन मैथ्स और रिपोर्ट कार्ड लेके आ रहे. तो उस समय मैं मैथ्स में फेल हो गया था और 30 आए थे मेरे को मैथ्स में. तो मैं घर लेके रिपोर्ट कार्ड, मेरे को लगा अब घर जाऊँगा तो कुटाई होगी. तो मैंने 30 को 60 कर दिया और फिर उसके बाद मेरे को समझ में आया भाई ये तो गलत हो गया. तो मैंने डर के मारे रिपोर्ट कार्ड ही घर पे नहीं दिखाया. और मम्मी पापा बार बार बोलते थे रिपोर्ट कार्ड कहाँ है, तो मैं बोलता था खो गया. टीचर बोलता था रिपोर्ट कार्ड कहाँ है, तो मैं बोलता था खो गया. फिर 1-1.5 महीने बाद पापा मेरा बैग सेट कर रहे थे तो बैग में पापा को मिल गया. पापा ने वो देखा. ही डिडंट टेल मी एनीथिंग, ही जस्ट हैड अ स्मॉल टीयर इन हिज आईज एंड ही सेड मैं घर का नाम गुड्डू है, गुड्डू ये गलत है. I don't know what happened, Shiva. I sat, I cried for almost 1.5 to 2 hours and I promised to my father that I will make sure that I get 100 in maths in the next exam. And he said, I promise I will work hard with you and I will teach you. उन्होंने मेरे साथ बहुत मेहनत की. इस हद तक मेहनत की थी. उस समय RS अग्रवाल करके एक किताब होती थी मैथ्स की जो हम पढ़ते थे. उस किताब में जितने सवाल थे मैंने सारे सवाल रट लिए थे. मतलब ऐसा था मैं रट लिया था. कोई सवाल बोलता तो मैं बोल देता इसका आंसर ये होगा. राइट. एंड जब रिजल्ट आया तो मेरे को 100 नहीं आया था, वो 99 आया था. बट आई कुड सी दैट हैप्पीनेस इन माई फादर्स फेस. क्योंकि जब एनुअल डे पे होता है तो पापा गए थे साथ में और नाम अनाउंस किया था उन्होंने कि अंकित अग्रवाल को 99 आया है. पापा के चेहरे पे खुशी थी. और फिर जब हम वापस जा रहे थे बस में तो मैंने पापा से पूछा आपने मेरे को जब मैंने ये किया था 30 को 60 किया तो आपने को डांटा क्यों नहीं था. तो पापा ने बोला अगर मैं डांट देता तो ये 99 नहीं आता तुमको. राइट. द पावर ऑफ फॉरगिविंग. सो द पावर ऑफ गिविंग एंड द पावर ऑफ फॉरगिविंग.
Ankit, then you did your masters in Delhi, University of Delhi, in finance, and then you ended up moving to US. You were working at UBS as a banker. Now, quickly tell us how did that happen, and what was the experience like? What were the learnings you had in US, and what made you move back to India?
The first foreign trip I had, or the first Western country I had visited, right, was US. To the extent when in Calcutta, immigration, they saw my passport. They were like, are you going to the US? I said yes. They said, why? So I said, I'm going there because I'm working. So they actually made me wait for half an hour to check if everything is correct.
Mhm.
I'm going there for a reason, right? I'm not going there for kabutarbazi.
Mhm.
And but when I landed in the US, it was a different experience. Right from the word when I landed till the time that I was there in US, I think that country never stopped amazing me.
Mhm.
Work ethics which people had, the seriousness which they had for their work, their ability to learn and unlearn, and their ability to take you on your face value, provided you are delivering,
Yeah.
right, was amazing.
Mhm.
For me, I think it just shaped my career. Imagine I'm working on a floor with people from 100 different nationalities, with people from some of the smartest folks from some of the greatest institutions in the world.
Mhm.
In the next cubicle, in the next seat, actually, next seat to me, I had somebody sitting from Wharton. On other side, I had somebody sitting from Harvard. Peeche, I had somebody sitting from MIT. I had a Korean, I had an American, I had an African American, I had a Britisher. All these guys all around me, right? So I think not only from a work perspective, but it also taught me how to work with people of different caste, different religion, different culture. And I think that is the most important learning,
Yeah.
right? Plus, I learned everything there. You
Yeah.
know, financial modeling, how to work closely with people, everything. So I owe whatever I am to a large part to my early foundation years there.
At UBS. Look, you were doing good. Life was good. You could have, earned millions. Could have gotten your green card. Then why India? And how were the early days like
Early days there or early days here?
when you came back to India? And why India? And then
So
how
I
was
came
the
back to India because I wanted to be with my family. I was very clear that I will not settle in India. I wanted to come
Settle
back
in
to India,
US.
settle in the US. I wanted to come back to India.
Yeah.
So I came back to India. I'm the only son and I wanted to be around my family. So there was no doubt on that, right? When I came back to India, it took me some time to settle back. And मतलब कोई इतना डिफिकल्ट भी नहीं था कि मैं वहाँ कोई 10 साल 15 साल रहूँगा तो आने का बहुत मुश्किल होगी. 2-3 साल रहा था वहाँ पे, 3 साल में वापस आ गया था. तो उतना मुश्किल नहीं था, बट आने के बाद थोड़ा सा टाइम लगा सेट होने में, बिकॉज यू हैव टू फिगर आउट अ रोल फॉर योरसेल्फ, यू हैव टू फिगर आउट द राइट, वो हैड अ चॉइस बिटवीन कंटिन्यूइंग इन द ट्रेडिशनल enterprises, right, or choose the new economy. And thankfully I met the Moving founders through my cousin. He introduced me to them, and I really liked what they were doing. I was the third or fourth employee for them, right? Saw that company growing from 3 to 100. So for a hardcore finance guy, the entire nuts and bolts of building a business, right, I learned at Moving in Bangalore. तो इट वॉज अ वेरी गुड टाइम. मतलब कोई ऐसा उसमें कोई सॉब स्टोरी या वो नहीं है. मतलब आई रियली एंजॉयड.
You enjoyed working there.
I
It was a
really
good
enjoyed.
landing for you, and
Oh,
you
absolutely,
were
absolutely.
enjoying the work, and you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
close to family. How did CarDekho happen for you?
So 2015, I had decided that I will move on from Moving, because whatever I felt I had to do, I did. And Moving was getting into a couple of newer businesses where I could not see myself contributing or adding a lot of value. Plus, I had done the 0 to 1, 1 to 10. Now I wanted to do the 10 to 100 journey. So I had a couple of other offers and I was contemplating what to do. उसी समय मैं राखी बनवाने के लिए जयपुर गया था. तो वहाँ पे I met Amit sir. And when I met Amit sir, Anurag sir, I really liked them. Then a cousin of mine was also working with CarDekho. He introduced me to Umang also. Umang, who's now the Southeast Asia CEO for CarDekho. So I met Umang also. I really liked what all of them were building out. And what I really loved was the clarity of thought they had. And one thing which Amit said, everybody in CarDekho is like family to me, right? And when I went and met him, I could actually see that. तो वो बहुत अच्छे लोग लगे, बहुत अच्छा environment लगा. So I said, if I had a choice to work with these guys, why shouldn't I work?
Correct.
So I joined, and the kind of talent they had, and they still have at CarDekho, we still have at CarDekho, was amazing. Was amazing. I think I worked with some of the smartest folks, and they just helped me change my sphere of thinking, and it helped me grow phenomenally.
So while you were at CarDekho, how did you land at InsuranceDekho? What was that founding story? You always had that in mind eventually. So you mentioned I've done 0 to 10, 1 to 10, or 10 to 100. Then you joined CarDekho. You always had in mind, let me figure out or let me learn how companies are built, and then I want to do something of my own.
So बेसिकली 2012 में जब मैं इंडिया आया था ना, तब उसके बाद मैं बाबूजी की तबीयत, माई फादर्स हेल्थ वॉज नॉट वेल. सो बिकॉज फादर्स हेल्थ वॉज नॉट वेल, that was one of the reasons when I came back, right? And when we were getting him discharged from hospital, that experience was very painful. And we had to pay some money to get him discharged because the insurance claim was not coming through. And me and my sister thought ki if this is happening to us, this would be happening to a lot of people in India. I wanted to do something in insurance then, but then I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Plus, I don't think the system was ripe at that point of time. 2015 when I joined CarDekho, they had a business called Car Owners, where the thought process was that we will build everything around a car owner's life cycle, and insurance was a very important part of it. So I and Amit had a long chat, and I wanted to do something on my own. So Amit said, instead of you doing it outside, why don't you do it inside? It will save you time and effort, and it will also help us. I thought it was a win-win. I had and still have a lot of respect, love, and I admire Amit. So I said this will also allow me to work with him. Right? So I stayed on at the group, and I built out InsuranceDekho like my own baby. And by God's grace, in the last 10 years, we built out India's largest insurance distribution platform for focus on feet on street. Today we work with over 300,000 partners spread across 1500 plus cities in the country. And we serve 98% of India's pin codes.
98%. So let's step back a bit, Ankit bhai. For the audience, in simple language, what were the early days like? I know that there were 28 agents or something when you started, 27 I think. Who were those 27? How did you convince them? And
so the early days, 29th July 2016 was my birthday. So my gift from CarDekho was that on 28th, they called me and told me that from tomorrow you will manage insurance business. 29th July, there was a lot of rain. Every year on my birthday, I think Indra Devta blesses Gurgaon with a lot of rain. It was a lot of rain. And we had a small office, not here. This is Udyog Vihar, but 2 lanes on the other side. I went there, and there were 8 people in the team, of which 2 were on resignation. I am sitting here, and of the remaining 6 people, right, 2 people have opened Naukri.com and they were looking for a job, right? This is how the handover of InsuranceDekho happened to me, right? But by God's grace, all 8 of them are still with InsuranceDekho. Sorry, 7 of them are still with InsuranceDekho. One person, she got married. She is now in Himachal. She's in a location where we do not have any role where we can give her. But other than that, all 7 of them are still with InsuranceDekho and are doing very well. So 7 लोग थे. 7 हिंदुस्तानी करके एक अमिताभ बच्चन की मूवी आई थी. I just love that movie. So whenever I still meet those 6-7 people, I tell them कि हम 7 हिंदुस्तानी पिक्चर बनाया था. मैं प्रोड्यूसर था, तुम 7 एक्टर थे, right? So from those 7 people, उस समय ना we were not a offline insurance agent platform. We were more focused on solving for CarDekho's inside agents, that is our used car dealers. Over the next 12 months, the more clarity emerged, whether we should do B2C, whether we should do B2B2C. If you have to do B2B2C, how should we go about doing that, right? So next 12 months बाद था. उस 12 महीने के बाद हमने around मैं and the guy who heads this business now, Pankaj Goenka, between the 2 of us, and Sujit, who heads operations for us, between the 3 of us, we decided, now let us go out and expand. And between the 3 of us, we created about 50 or 100 agents across Haryana, Delhi, and those agents are still with InsuranceDekho. It was a lot of hard work convincing people वाई दे शुड ज्वाइन इंश्योरेंस देखो, बिकॉज उस समय इंश्योरेंस देखो भी नहीं था, वो नेम भी हमने 2019-20 में कॉइन किया, उस समय गिरनार इंश्योरेंस ब्रोकिंग था। तो लोगों को जाके ये समझाना कि CarDekho.com है, उसमें एक इंश्योरेंस का सब डिवीजन है जिसका नाम गिरनार इंश्योरेंस ब्रोकिंग है, उसमें आप आओ। तो पहले तो लोगों को अपने साथ काम करवाने के लिए एम्प्लॉयज़ खोजना भी मुश्किल था, टीम मेंबर्स खोजना, फिर उन टीम मेंबर्स के आने के बाद एजेंट्स को खोजना बहुत मुश्किल था। सो आई थिंक जो फाउंडर हसल होता है ना 0 to 1 वाला, दैट वाज एट इट्स पीक। यू हैड टू inspire your current team to continue working with them, working with you. You had to keep hustling because you were a small part, extremely small part within a larger organization.
Yeah.
So you had to keep fighting to get management mindshare, board mindshare. You had to keep fighting with insurance companies to treat you at par with some of the larger players. You were the 6th, 7th player to enter into this space, and for them to take you seriously. ये किसी large conglomerate का एक side project नहीं है, है ना? And fourth was convincing people who were already working with somebody else to come and work with you. So it is founder hustle at its peak.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed every single moment of it.
Yeah.
You know, I really enjoyed every single moment of it. If you ask me, will I want to redo it again? I will say yes. अभी से करते हैं.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned कि 98% of India is covered. 300,000 agents you have. Just in a simple language, you know, help us explain, okay, this is the problem that we are solving and this is what we have become today.
So in one simple line, sorry, I know you told me to tell this to you in English, but I'm trying to do it in Hindi so that people understand what we're trying to do. हम भारत में बीमारी और बेरोजगारी का जो तकलीफ है उसको हम सॉल्व करते हैं. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड what are the two biggest problems that people suffer in India, right? One is unemployment, right? You remove this 7%, 8% GDP growth that you read in the media and you go to tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 cities. Unemployment is a harsh reality. Second, government of India has done a lot of hard work in solving for healthcare infrastructure, but still last mile healthcare delivery is missing. Once people get that last mile healthcare delivery, they have to come to bigger cities for treatment. And because of the increasing cost of hospitalization, people get pushed into poverty, right? We try to solve for the problem of health treatments, life mortality, right? Or risk coverage by teaching people why is insurance important, how can they take insurance distribution coverage to everybody in their neighborhood, thus making a living, right? बीमारी और बेरोजगारी दो बहुत बड़ी तकलीफें हैं भारत देश की, जिसको इंश्योरेंस देखो लास्ट माइल पे सॉल्व करता है.
And essentially you're employing or you're empowering 300,000 Indians, agents on the ground, largely in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. That's a big impact that you have created. And what percentage of women you think you have among those 300,000? And also, Ankit bhai, one or two stories from these guys which really just stayed with you. And इसमें मजा आया कि यार मतलब ये काम हम कर रहे हैं and we are proud of it.
So about 24% of our agent partners are women, and it gives us a lot of pride when we say 1/4 of our agent workforce are women. Am I happy with it? No. Neither am I happy because with the gender diversity in my organization where 25% or 27% are women, because the push which I give to our CHROs is at least 50% of our organization is to women, and that same push Pankaj has from our agent mobilization perspective, right? Stories, there are lots of stories, right? So for example, in my recent trip to Udaipur, I was meeting a couple of our agent partners there, and suddenly I saw somebody wearing a Zomato t-shirt with a Zomato bag. एंड आई सेड भैया यहाँ तो हमने कोई डिलीवरी ऑर्डर नहीं किया है. तो नहीं सर, मैं डिलीवरी के लिए नहीं आया हूँ, मैं आपका एजेंट पार्टनर हूँ और मैं जोमेटो के साथ साथ एजेंट का भी काम करता हूँ, इंश्योरेंस एजेंट का। मैं जिस घर में डिलीवरी देने जाता हूँ वहाँ पे मैं एक लीफलेट देता हूँ एंड उसने अपना नाम रखा है जोमेटो इंश्योरेंस वाला। ठीक है, उसने अपना नाम ऐसे रखा है जोमेटो इंश्योरेंस वाला या डिलीवरी इंश्योरेंस वाला, समथिंग लाइक दैट नाम रखा है, सॉरी आई फॉरगॉट इट। एंड टुडे बिकॉज ऑफ इंश्योरेंस देखो हिज अर्निंग हैज डबल्ड, राइट। एंड ही वॉज सो हैप्पी, ही वॉज शेयरिंग स्टोरीज विथ अस कि उसने कैसे अपनी पहली बाइक खुद खरीदी, उसका पुराने बाइक का लोन था वो चुकाया, अपने बच्चों को कैसे पढ़ा रहा है। Then there is one more story, and on this we also had a video. We created a video. So there's an agent partner. She was from a remote location in Haryana. She had lost her husband, and during COVID, when she was looking for employment opportunities, she came across InsuranceDekho. She got trained on our platform. She was very happy with the trainings which were happening. Because of those trainings, she was able to start selling more and more products. Today, she has her own office. She has 3 people who work with her. She has bought a house in Greater Noida. She's now moved to Greater Noida. She sends her children to an English medium school. She aspires that of the 2 daughters she has, the first daughter becomes a doctor and the second becomes an IAS officer. When we heard it in our agent summit, we all just had tears in our eyes. We all just had tears in our eyes.
Wow. Incredible. So talking about these 300,000 agents, so what I can understand, Ankit, essentially what you're doing, one, there are agents who are already, they're qualified, they can just start selling insurance. And the example that you mentioned, she came onto the platform and she got trained, and then she started selling insurance. So what is that platform like? Is it makes them sell more? Does it like helps them sell better? What's the platform like?
So it's not that whether, irrespective of the fact whether you know how to sell insurance or you don't know how to sell insurance, you have to take training on our platform. There's a IRDA mandated exam which you have to give. Once that exam gets cleared, only then you can start selling on our platform. So you have to think of us like a platform layer or a software layer, where on one side we have our insurance companies, on the other side we have our agent partners who go out and talk to their friends, family, neighborhood people or their clients and tell them why insurance product is important and service them. Our platform allows them to source insurance for 50 plus insurance companies across 200 plus different product types, across 5 different categories, right? And we not only take care of sourcing, we also help them in servicing, thus freeing up a lot of their time from other mundane service related requests which they would have had to handle otherwise.
And so look, today you become the largest player, but I'm sure there were multiple instances. The one you mentioned right in the beginning, it was the way you initially started was very, very difficult. But along the way, Ankit bhai, were there times where you thought, man, this is really, really difficult? Not sure how we gonna pull this off. And if there were times, how were you able to pull those times off?
I would lie if I say that I did not have moments of self-doubt. Yes, I always had moments, everybody has moments of self-doubt. You're an athlete, you go and work out every day. But there'll be times when your muscle stops growing or your weight becomes constant, right? So at that point of time, you will also be thinking, now, am I doing the right thing? Am I exercising the right way? Similarly, हर entrepreneur, हर founder की journey में कभी ना कभी वो self doubt आता है. But I think I was privileged to have a strong set of mentors. I was privileged to have a strong set of investors. Extremely privileged to have a strong family around me. Extremely lucky to have some of the smartest folks in Bharat working with me in helping solving an extremely difficult problem. Plus I write poems. तो एक हमारे भारत देश के बहुत ही बड़े कवि हैं श्री रामधारी सिंह दिनकर जी, उनकी एक कविता है, वीर तुम बढ़े चलो, धीर तुम बढ़े चलो, सामने पहाड़ हो, सिंह की दहाड़ हो, वीर तुम बढ़े चलो. So whenever I have this moment of self-doubt, I switch on, I put this poem on repeat loop mode on YouTube and I keep listening to it. And it just helps me come out of it.
And look, talking about insurance industry as a whole, जब आपने शुरू किया था, आज कहाँ पे है, and what's next? We can talk about the penetration rate and few other things around it. And my follow-up question to you is, what's the magical outcome you hold for InsuranceDekho moving forward?
I think insurance is a recession-proof industry. You have to understand, people always will want to take insurance, and this is not an industry which you or I started. It is as old as humankind. Not today. जब से humankind started trading, people started trying to take some kind of insurance, right? So जब से humankind है, insurance in some form or factor exists. हो सकता है contractually वैसे नहीं होता होगा जैसे आज है, but at least last 200-300 years से insurance exists, right? So this is a secular, industry, secular in terms of secular growth story industry. This will continue to grow, especially Bharat Desh में. I think estimates are that this will continue to grow at 10 to 15% every single year. Abhi under Honorable Nirmala Sitharaman ma'am, Insurance Amendment Act has been passed, which creates a lot of avenues for faster acceleration in the industry, like 100% ownership of insurance companies, allowing for MGA in some form and factor, where insurance companies can share risks with intermediaries. So a lot of things are being done by the government. Plus, our Honorable Prime Minister has very clearly outlined in his vision and mission statement for 2047, where he said that every Indian household has to be insured by 2047. Insurance penetration has to reach last mile by 2047. And we all are geared up towards fulfilling that mission and vision of his, which says insurance for all. So in one line, the bull run has just started in insurance and it will continue to happen. I have seen this industry evolve on multiple lines, right? I have seen this industry evolve from a product complexity, from a product simplicity perspective, right? So now the most complicated products are being sold or being explained to the last mile consumer in a very simple form and factor. I have seen how digitization has helped grow this industry, at the same time bring down cost of sourcing. I have seen how servicing and claim management has become simpler and has become more transparent for the last mile consumer. The regulator has played a great role here. Also from a product innovation perspective, I think we are second to none today in the world. We've really taken the lead on product innovation. Can more work be done? Yes, more work can be done, but we'll get there. From an outcome perspective, we've raised a lot of capital. Plus, I think every entrepreneur has this mission or has this vision, at least. Mission would be a wrong term to use. Every entrepreneur has this vision where they would want their company to be traded on the bourses. So for me, there's a dream that at some point of time, we will make InsuranceDekho a public limited enterprise. We will list on BSE, NSE, and when we are ringing the bell, I would want you also to be there with us in the celebration. And hopefully we'll get there soon.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. I'll request Aman कि याद रखना भाई जब रिंग बेल कर रहे हो इनवाइट कर लेना. But आज के दिन what's the penetration like insurance in India?
Penetration is between 3 to 3.5%. In certain reports, it may be shown as 3.74% also. Yeah. But broadly, it's hovering between 3.5 to 4%. Yeah.
And you are, I think you are providing insurance in 5 different categories. Ankit bhai, what are one or two categories that are up and coming?
I think one of the most important categories which I see people focusing a lot these days is on cyber insurance, right? I think given that a lot of transactions are moving online, a lot of people have their profiles online, right? Cyber insurance is very, very important. Organizations have also started looking at it seriously, and individuals also. Um, and the second category, which I feel is very important, but a lot of people do not pay focus to it, is health insurance. Please understand that medical inflation in this country is increasing at 10 to 14% every year, right? So it is growing at a rate faster than your wage hikes. If the cost of treatment is growing faster than your wage hikes, you need to make sure that you have a tool which will help you solve for inflation, right? Which will help you cover your medical emergency cost in case you are in hospital or somebody in your family is in hospital. If not, it is going to not only wipe away all your savings, but it is going to push you back by a couple of years, right? So I think health insurance is very important. The third category from a corporate perspective, which is coming up, is the corporate insurance piece, right? As more and more people are moving into the ambit of formalization of economy, people are now realizing the importance of not only insuring themselves but also their entire organization.
AI, the hottest topic these days. How do you think, what role AI would play in your industry? Is it going to be, AI would help you better underwrite, better customer service? How are you thinking about AI?
So I think AI will play a very, very strong role across, right? Right from sourcing of business to underwriting to servicing, across, right? And we've seen that happening across. It will make sourcing easier, because if people have questions today, they have to call up an individual or they have to search multiple times. But today, if you have a trained AI agent, you can ask the question and you'll get the answer. We've actually done a lot of work on this and we're seeing a lot of success. The entire underwriting parameters can be digitized, decisioning can be done through AI, right? So it will help cut down cost, bring efficiency, and make policy issuance more quicker. Third is servicing. I think this is one area which will get completely disrupted because of AI. We will see a lot of economy, we will see better scale, we will see better experience.
I forgot to ask you this one question before we dive into the next part. Ankit, do you remember your first customer?
Yeah, the first customer, unfortunately, I remember it was a new car policy we had issued for a customer in Lajpat Nagar. It was a Creta we had issued with one of the newer insurers at that point of time. And within 7 days of issuing the policy, the car got stolen. So, I had to do right for the customer by helping him get a claim. But at the same time, because our book with the insurance company was very small, we had to face a lot of heat from the insurance company.
Yeah.
So I do remember the first customer.
And Ankit, the kind of impact that you've created by building or by coming back to India and building InsuranceDekho, and of course you're moving towards building a legacy. Do you think you could have had an impact similar or more than this if you had just stayed back in the US?
I don't look back in life. I don't look back in life. I don't believe in looking back and thinking अगर ये नहीं होता तो क्या होता, अगर ये नहीं किया होता तो क्या होता. It was my destiny. It was God's design that I had to come back to India. I came back to India, and I'm privileged to be born in India and be in India at a time like this. I think we are entering into India's golden era again. अगले 10-20 नहीं, अगले 100 साल हमारे हैं. It is only for us to build a stronger, a bigger, and a better India.
And what year did you come back?
2012.
So 2012 versus 2026. What are like top or biggest 2 or 3 changes that you have seen? And we are talking in the context of someone who's abroad, high functioning in Silicon Valley, but considering moving back to India and building it in India?
So I was in New York. I was not in Silicon Valley,
Yeah.
unlike you.
Yeah.
But I think three changes that I have seen. One, road infrastructure. Road infrastructure is top notch. I have just come back from a road trip to Rajasthan where I go to visit a temple. 2012, that same journey would have taken me 8 hours or 9 hours, and it would have been a very difficult journey, right? Today, I was able to reach the temple in 4.5 hours, pray peacefully, and again come back, right? So, road infrastructure in this country is top notch. Second, I think internet connectivity. If you ask me, the two things which have, changed the way people look at India. One is the entire payment infrastructure that we launched, right? So let's start in the reverse order. One is the entire Aadhaar layer, right? The entire Aadhaar layer which we created, that along with the entire internet or telecom revolution that happened in the country, that powered with the payment infrastructure. If you ask me, the three devs which have changed or which have helped propel new age economy in the country, it is the trinity of Aadhaar, telecom revolution, and UPI. These three things, they've just changed, right, the country. So road infra is great, internet connectivity is great. You've solved for national identity through Aadhaar, that helps in direct transfer of government subsidies at the last mile level. And you've created a payment infrastructure which is helping seamless transfer of money from one individual to another.
Yeah. And talking about, let's say, building a company, जब आपने शुरू की थी versus today, if you were to compare, let's say when you started, this is how it used to be. Of course, internet इतना नहीं था, payments इतनी sophisticated नहीं थी, and bunch other things. And versus today, you were going to start a company, there's so many investors available. Scale can be faster because there's talent available also. We'll also talk about talent. So maybe kind of like compare those two
मतलब
eras.
यार वो वक्त और आज का वक्त अलग है, राइट? उस समय अगर किसी बच्चे को भी बोलना होता था कि मैं एक स्टार्टअप ज्वाइन कर रहा हूँ, while Flipkart was very big, Zomato had become big, right? Ola, Uber were very big, but for a kid to tell that I'm joining a startup or I'm doing a startup was a taboo. It was not easy, right? If you're from the top institutions, IIT, IIM, because you have a social backup in terms of कि अगर fail हो गया तो आपका alumni network आपको help कर देगा, so it was still possible. But if you're from a tier 2 college, tier 2 city, a tier 1 city, but tier 2 college, right, it was very difficult. Today, India is again becoming a land of entrepreneurs, right? I think in all my journeys, which I have across the remotest corners of the country, I see that uncanny confidence. There's that confidence in every single individual that हम कुछ कर लेंगे. So entrepreneurship has become mainstream now. Entrepreneurship was not mainstream earlier. That is one. Second, because you have had so many successful exits now, you had so many successful IPOs, you've seen real wealth getting created. So it's not paper money anymore. Because people have seen real money getting created, people have seen real wealth getting created, right? Their ability to take risks is also higher, right? Third, what you said is now there's an entire ecosystem. Because a lot of successful founders now want to give back, right? So they've created their own investment vehicles, they understand risks, they are willing to mentor. So that is really helping. So that entire infrastructure has got created. Fourth, I think government. Just 2 weeks ago, I was in Madhya Pradesh, where Madhya Pradesh did a startup summit. Just imagine a state government doing a startup summit where the chief minister himself is coming for the keynote address, where they are tracking the number of startups that have got registered in the state, and they have a separate division within the state government, right, or the state machinery, which is tracking the kind of incentives these startups need, and then going back and reporting. And this is now happening across the country. You go to Bihar, you go to Punjab, you go to Rajasthan. Every single state has their own startup policy, and they want people to become entrepreneurs.
Yeah, entrepreneurship has become a verb now.
Yeah.
Ankit, by moving to the last section, look, we know you as a hardcore entrepreneur, is what I've heard from people. You're doing some very interesting stuff at InsuranceDekho. And but what do your friends know you for? Who are you outside of work? Ankit, outside of work.
But I think this evolves over
Yeah.
a period of time, right? When you're a bachelor, then your friends will know you for something else, right?
आप बता सकते हो.
मतलब you're always there for your friends, right?
Yeah.
But when as you mature, I think life changes. I think the Ankit now, after outside work, I focus on my fitness. I focus on my family. I love reading books. Uh, I work with a couple of startups, helping them, mentor them, navigate them. That is what my friends know me for, right? So I'm not that party type of person. At one point of time, I used to be a guy who used to like partying, right? But no, not anymore. I keep debating within my team. So, there is this new theme which is emerging nowadays, spiritualism, right? So when I talk to a lot of kids in my team, they'll tell me we are spiritual, but we are not religious. So there's a lot of debate which I do with them, that there is spiritualism comes from being religious, right? So you can't say that you're spiritual and not religious. So I think multiple things, nothing extraordinary, which people, they will know that I'm a simple family guy who comes to office, works, goes to the gym, works out, goes back to his family, and spends his weekends reading books or catching up on new Netflix or Amazon Prime series.
And health has always been a focus for you?
No, health was never a focus. You know it better than me, right? I think when we started speaking 2 years ago, I was perhaps 92 or 93 kgs. Today I am 73 kgs or 73 plus minus 500 grams hota rehta hai. So that is where I am. Now I can talk to you in your terminology. My body fat is X percentage. This is Y percentage. This is the number of reps that I do. This is the weight lift that I do. So I think last 12 months I've started focusing on my health. First I solved for food. Then I solved for my physical exercises. I think it's a good circle, right? एक बार ना आप वर्कआउट करने लगते हो तो आप अच्छा खाने लगते हो. जब आप वर्कआउट करते हो और अच्छा खाते हो तो आप अच्छे दिखने लगते हो. फिर आप अच्छे दिखने लगते हो तो फिर आप अच्छे कपड़े पहनने लगते हो. जब आप अच्छे कपड़े पहनने लगते हो तो फिर आप अच्छे लोगों से मिलने लगते हो. फिर उसके बाद आपको लगता है कि यार मैंने फिजिकली अपने आप को सॉल्व कर लिया, मैं मेंटली करना है. तो फिर देन यू स्टार्ट मेडिटेटिंग, यू स्टार्ट focusing on your inner health, inner well-being. So it's a good circle, right? I think I am in that circle now, mental plus physical circle, where meditate, eat well, read well. So meditate and read well, eat well, and work out well. And spend time with family.
But so you mentioned that this has started only a year and a half or 2 years back.
1 year ago.
Why?
Because I realized that the best the best gift that I can give to my family and to my friends and everybody around me is my health, right? So I want to be healthy.
Yeah, and it also helps you operate and function at a better level at InsuranceDekho.
That my team should answer. I can't answer that. But I think I have never been more focused. I was always focused. I was always razor sharp in what I wanted to do. But I think being healthy has just taken it to another level. It has just given me a lot more confidence. It has also allowed me to, look at things from a different perspective, which perhaps I was not able to do earlier. So the 60 or 75 minutes which I spend in the gym really helped me focus on what I did in the day and what I have to do tomorrow.
And Ankit, what do people get wrong about you?
बहुत ही controversial question है. I think as an entrepreneur, you're very driven, right? For you, what you're doing is like bringing up a child. InsuranceDekho is my first baby, right? So you would want the best for your child always. right? And in that, when you are pushing people, it's not easy, right? I think you ask any founder, right? And you ask anybody who's working with the founder, working with a founder is not easy, because a founder is always on a mission mode, right? And that mission mode is that he has to take care of his baby. He has to make sure that his baby is the best in the world, period.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're in that mission mode, there'll always be there will always be instances where you will be misunderstood, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah.
And one last one, Ankit. What's after InsuranceDekho? It could be hypothetical.
I don't think there's anything after InsuranceDekho. Not only in the near future, but in the distant future also. I'm wedded to InsuranceDekho. I want to make sure that we take InsuranceDekho to every single village in the country. We have 600,000 plus villages in the country. I want to make sure that every single village in the country has at least one InsuranceDekho advisor. Today, we would be able to give livelihood to about 300,000 partners, and through them we impact directly, indirectly about 3 million Indians, right? Their extended family, etc. That would roughly be 0.2% of India's population. At least till we get to 4-5% of India's population, which is getting directly impacted by InsuranceDekho. I don't think I have any other thought in mind.
So look, InsuranceDekho seems like a natural extension of who you are. Given you spent a lot of time in, I might be wrong, this is what I've heard or read, you were born and grew up in a small town in Bihar. Do you think, Ankit, that gives you unfair advantage because you really understand?
So I am a true Indian. I was born in Assam. I grew up in Calcutta. I spent a part of my childhood in Bihar, right? And then I worked pretty much across the country. So I'm a true Indian. I think the two unfair advantages I had was, one, that I had my roots in Bihar, which is the state which gave this country education. Nalanda हमारे यहाँ ही था. And second, I grew up in Bengal, or I grew up in Calcutta, the city which is the cultural cradle of India, right? So I think the sheer advantage of seeing these two distinct cultures has helped shape me and make me what I am today.
Love it, Ankit. Thank you so much for doing it.
Pleasure's mine, buddy. Finally, we could do it. Finally.